Very soon.
You will be. I believe Lawrence would like to come to the front. Lawrence is a member of the National Health Party, I believe.
National Health Action Party.
Action Party. I'm not very good at party names,
no,
clearly.
you're getting it all wrong today.
Yes, would you like to just come forward, Lawrence,
Yeah.
just give your perspective?
Right,
And then I will ask people to ask us questions in a minute.
right, it's in tandem of what Lee's just said about people and the people, sort of the malaise in the ranks, if you like, and the out of touch politicians. I mean, I could ramble on about all sorts of things, but I don't want to sort of bore everyone into submission. But just very quickly, there is quite a groundswell of opinion, as we know. And last week I was on the Lewisham Hospital rally, and which was many thousands of people going out on the streets, and they are exceedingly upset. It's not just Lewisham Hospital. There are a number of hospitals across the country that are under threat, the A&Es and whatever else. Trafford, which I think is possibly Manchester Central, Whittington, in the Archway, Kingston as well. Kingston, I think, is on the rack at the moment. So there's all these sort of things going on in the hospital sense. People are going out on the streets now. That is quite significant. People now are going out on the streets. And the venom that I picked up last week against the Comdems was quite something. The people really are, and we're talking about very clever people as well, people in the know, people in the knowledge, are very upset by these the latest government proposals and things like that to do with the hospitals, the Health and Social Care Bill, and so it goes on. Blah, blah, blah. So there is actually a groundswell of things happening, and it is coming from the hospital campaign. So don't think that you know, you're only a little acorn that's under the ground at some, you know, sort of waiting to grow, because it's already happening. Right? A little bit of history for you. I don't know if any of you know about the 469 rule. Right? 469 rule, which is something I picked up on the telly many years ago. 469 years. Every 469 years, something significant happens in this country, right? And it has been happening that way since 597 AD, or wherever it is, or was. 597 came Christianity officially to this country, and we had this sweep across the country, and we were converted. 469 years after that came 1066, and then the Normans turned up. And we are still now living under the 1,000-year Reich, the Normans. Those of you who don't know, something like 75 or 80% of the land in this country is still owned by the original families of the 20 barons of William the Conqueror. Okay, so that gives you an idea of their sort of power. 469 years later came 1535, I think it was. Henry VIII decided to change the religion slightly, and this dissolved the monasteries. And we got the Church of England, all that stuff, you know that. 469 years later, it was 2004. Well, nothing actually happened, or appeared to happen. But I think it has. Because Blair was Prime Minister at the time, his popularity had gone completely the other way. And I think things have been happening since 2004. We just haven't really noticed it. And it was only last week, I suppose, when I was out on the rally, and I stood next to Lord David Owen as well, by the way, at one point, that people, something has happened, and we are waking up to the fact that the career politicians do not represent us at all, and there needs to be something done about it. I used to live for the first 30 years around the corner from where David Miliband lives, or Ed Miliband, sorry, Ed. He's Ed in charge, isn't it? Ed, right. Ed's in charge, right. Now he lives around the corner from where I used to live. Now, I used to live on the council bit, and he doesn't live on the council bit.
Whereabouts was that?
Dartmouth Park, London North West 5. Right.
Northwest 6, Kilburn, Northwest 5 is
Kentish Town. Right. So, and he's living in this house, which, I don't know, maybe £1 million worth or whatever. No, the late prices don't come from the ordinary people at all. They operate out of Hampstead, and they have done since virtually the beginning.
we know that, Michael Foot.
Yes, Michael Foot. Yeah. So they aren't of the people at all, and unfortunately, most Labour voters don't realise that. It's only us that have grown up there, in amongst them, that have realised that. But anyway. So, the Live Lab Com are all the same. I mean, I could go on for ages about the history of these two parties. The Tories and the Whigs started around, I think, the time of Charles II in 1662 or thereabouts. And they operated out of a chamber which was an oblong, two sides facing each other. And it's still that today, of course, as you know. The Whigs, I think Whiggery is a name given for horse trading, is that right? Horse trading they call it. Tory is a Gaelic word for thief and pirate. So, you know, we know that, don't we?
That's right.
So, Live Lab Com is a nice convenient way of saying it. But, anyway, to wrap up. Yes, there are now people going out on the streets because of the hospitals. There's no reason to believe that yourselves can't get yourself out there as well at the time with the hospital stuff going on and advertising yourself, because there is a ready market for you out there. There was all of the sundry were there last week, even
We've got the police stations, the fire stations, they're closing
all the even the Millwall Football Club bought their bus up as well.
That's right.
Unfortunately, though, we tried that with a lot of the welfare reform and disability reform stuff, and we got told, "But you're too small. You're never going to be able to make a difference."
Yeah, but people
and my
always
response
say
to
that.
that was, "Well, unless you vote for us, we're never going to grow."
But there were plenty of small groupings there leafleting, okay? And the NHAP is just a small grouping at the moment, leafleting like everyone else. So what I'm saying is that there are people now going out on the streets. They're not throwing petrol bombs, they're not being violent, they're going out on the streets, they are angry, but they're making their point down. And I think even Minister Hunt had changed the Lewisham thing to appease the people to what it would have been originally. I think if the people hadn't gone out in the streets, the Thursday's announcement would have been A&E closes, maternity closes and whatever else, but what they did was they just said, oh, well, we'll only close maternity and we'll downgrade the A&E. So they've done that, they've backtracked on that, but we all know, of course, that ultimately it's the demise of the NHS, you know, we all know that. So. Right, I'll shut up. Does anyone want to ask me anything?